Alright, kids, we learned about the novel Wonder for the first time last time, and then we were supposed to read up till page 1 through 20. So let's go into the book and then let's find out what kind of important lessons that we can gain. So, in the beginning of the chapter 1, Augie starts talking about how ordinary he is. Just like any ordinary kid, he enjoys playing computer games and he sometimes complains to his mom. So, despite the differences in his face, Augie actually is the same human being, just like any other kid. He experiences the same emotions and same wants and desires, and then the same kind of thoughts that any kid in the fifth grade might be having. So this gives us the insight about regardless of person's experience, we all share the common human experience. So basically, we're the same human being. And also by explaining that he's just like an ordinary boy, he's trying to tell the readers that he is just like any other kid, and he's trying to bridge the gap between himself and then the reader. And he's urging the readers to look beyond physical differences. And that when we find value in a person, we shouldn't really do that superficially, not just by looking at somebody's physical appearance, but that we have to recognize the value within a person. Okay, so Augie has a lot of visual abnormalities because he's born that way. He's genetically conditioned to be born that way. And he has gone through a lot of surgeries, so he looks odd to many people's eyes. And he is deeply aware of that. He's very self conscious because whenever he goes onto the street, a lot of people turn their heads to look at him, and then they just stare at him. Sometimes they experience shock, curiosity, and some little kids even express fear. So because of these past experiences that have sort of traumatized them, he wants to avoid social interactions and he fears of being rejected and being judged. So Augie is in the fifth grade, so he's about 11 or 12, and Augie's parents have been homeschooling Augie for all of these years, but they're debating whether to send him to school or not. Mom thinks that it's time for him to go to school, and dad thinks that it's dragging a goat to a slaughterhouse. So he's going to be a laughing stock and he's going to be mocked by kids. But then they finally come to an agreement that it's about time Augie goes to school because the parents want him to step outside the safe boundary of the house and then experience challenges. And then they want to give him some challenges through which he can grow up. Well, the pros of sending Augie to school would be the experience at school will help him be socialized, and then he's going to grow more academically because so far he has been taught only by his mom. But then, if he's taught by professional teachers at a private school, he will definitely grow more academically. And then it will be an opportunity to build resilience, like inner power. And then he might have some self-confidence in various social situations he might encounter at school. However, there are cons as well. There is definite possibility of being bullied, and then he already has this anxiety of being rejected. And but then that kind of anxiety might intensify if he meets more of negative situations. And then he went on to a school tour with three other kids at school at the Beecher Prep. And then the first kid, she's Charlotte. She's a blonde girl, and then she has high achievement, high academic achievement. So she seems friendly, but she's a little bit superficial, 약간 가식적이야, because like when she talks with Augie, she doesn't really listen to what Augie is talking, but then she rather chooses to show off her knowledge and then brag about her performance at a school play, how she played the main part. And Julian, he's a jerk, right? He's just like apparently rude and insensitive, and then he has no qualms about showing them. And then he makes hurtful remarks about Augie's appearance. He has already heard from the principal that Augie has gone for many surgeries and he's just born that way, but he still poses that question, hey Augie, why do you look like that? Were you in a fire or something? He knew that. He knew the answer to that, but he just wanted to bug Augie. So he just lacks empathy, 공감 능력 없고, and then he has just prejudiced attitude, 너무 편견이 심하고, right? So he's going to be the main villain. We can probably see that. And then the third character, Jack Will, he is initially not really friendly. He's sort of reserved, 소극적이야. But then when Augie smiles, it's not really a smile because he just like twitches his muscles in his face, and people don't really recognize it as a smile. But Jack will recognize it as a smile, and then he smiled back at Augie. So he's definitely a kind kid. He's a quiet, not loud, but he is secretly and quietly kind person. And these interactions with three kids set the stage for the rest of the novel. So this in first initial interaction is going to play a pivotal role throughout the novel. Yeah, thank you so much.